Now this is something you definitely want to wear gloves for. I'm going to apply a paint stripper to the surface of this windowsill. Make sure you have adequate ventilation, proper tools, and safety precautions to get this going. I'm using Smart Strip Pro. It's great at moving post 1980s paint. If you have lead-based paint on the surface, use Peel Away. So paint stripper takes a little while to work, so make sure you have plenty of time. Make sure you put plenty on the surface. The more you have on here, the easier it will be to get this off. Many strippers will come with this laminated paper. It's great to put it over so it doesn't dry out. This stuff needs to stay wet to work. That's why you wear gloves doing this. Smooth out the surface to make sure there's no air bubbles, so you have full contact between the paper and the paint. Now we're going to wait for 30 minutes. Now it's time to remove the stripper cover and take the paint off. And you can see how weak this paint has become. This is now just pure lead paint. So in a situation where you have two different kinds of paint, non-lead based paint covering lead based paint, you'll probably need to use two different kinds of strippers. So for the second part of this, we're going to use Peel Away, which is specially formulated for lead based paint. This one is extremely alkaline. You can smell the lye, but it's going to remove that coating of lead based paint. The same procedure applies with the paper to keep it moist. So again, after ensuring that all the paper is firmly down to the substrate, we're going to let it sit and come back and remove it. Alright, so now let's take off the stripper and see what happens. You can see, unlike the other stripper, less of the paint actually comes off, but it definitely still degrades it. Now this is lead-based paint, so this is extremely toxic and you want to treat it as such. Now I'm going to scrape this off, but it's nice and wet, so it's not going to produce any dust. And for this part, you're going to want ample paper towels to remove this lead-based paint debris as you work. And remember, this stuff is very toxic. So as you can see, most of the paint came off with one application, but you should probably do two just to get this really clean. And this is still a messy job. You can see there's a lot of debris here that I wasn't able to capture with my scraper and napkin combination. So while this is much safer than sanding or abrading lead-based paint that's dry, it still has some risks. If it doesn't come off all in one try, apply a second coating of paint stripper and never scrape it when it dries out, because then you will generate that lead-based paint dust. And after you removed all the lead-based paint, apply the encapsulation paint over the top. But remember, not on friction surfaces.